What's up, YouTube? Welcome back for another NFL Pick'ems video. This week we got week four. Week four, and here's the results of our group so far. So last week, Andrew won between the group. He finished 11-5. Your boy finished 10-6, and then Dan and Rhett tied for last at 8-8. Rhett, he was about at 500, but he was able to pull through on the Monday night games, so that's good for him. I'm still in the lead. I'm up by 2, and then it goes Andrew, then Dan, and then all the way down there is Rhett after he decided to tank last week. So we'll see if he's able to bounce back this week. We'll see if I'm able to keep my lead, maybe to hop on top of the leaderboard on ESPN. We'll see. We'll see what's up. So yeah, just moving on to the games of this week. Let's get started. Thursday night football, we got Lions at Packers. Now, the Lions absolutely manhandled the Falcons. Won by 14 points. That's a big game. So let's go on the Lions. The protection's still there. Jared Goff has all day to throw. And then you got the Packers, who survived the Saints, mostly due to Derek Carr getting hurt. And yeah, Green Bay is kind of showing that love is not blind, as Jordan Love has been playing pretty good so far in the season. He's looking like he's legit, so that's good on him. Now, this game will be at Lambeau Field, division rivalry game. So, usually, division rival on the road, or I would say at Green Bay, it's a pretty close matchup, man. This is pretty tough. It's all come down to Detroit's offensive line. They're playing pretty good. If they're able to hold up, hold the protection against Green Bay's pass rush, Jared Goff has been phenomenal limiting turnovers. I think he only has one interception this season. Yeah, and he barely any fumbles. They barely turn the ball over. So that's huge on Detroit's side. You flip it up on the other side, you got Detroit's defense going up against Jordan Love. Jordan Love has been balling. Detroit's defense has been struggling a little bit. So we'll see if they're able to pick it up on that side or not. But in this game, I am favoring the Lions. The offensive line's been killing it so far. I like what I see from the Lions' offense. The defense, not so much, but we'll see. Green Bay, I like what they're doing there. I don't think they're there yet to be Detroit. I feel like this is Detroit's year to win the division, so I'm going to roll with Detroit. Moving on, we got the first London game of the season. We got Atlanta Falcons Falcons and Jaguars at London. So, yeah, this is a really good matchup. Falcons has been impressing a lot of people this season. They've been good. Desmond Ridder has been on and off, but the run game has been phenomenal. Defense is stepping up. Jags, they had an unfortunate loss against the Texans. That's a bad loss, especially an in-division loss against a Texans team that's pretty young. But, in Jacksonville, I'm going to trust Jacksonville here. Jaguars, give me the Jags. Trevor Lawrence, they'll be all those boys are going to be mad. They're going to be pissed off they lost last week. They got Trevor Lawrence, they got Calvin Ridley. I believe those two are going to go off for a big game. They still got ETN. They got weapons all over. The defense, it's been struggling a little bit, but I still believe in Jacksonville's defense. I think they can step it up. As for Atlanta, Desmond Ridder is not doing it for me as of late. So we'll see if he's able to keep it up. He just has to be a game manager. But he's been too much of a game manager, not making a lot of impact plays. But with that, give me Jacksonville. I'm more trusting of Trevor Lawrence than I am with Desmond Ridder. So with that, moving on, we got Miami at Buffalo. Man, this should have been the Sunday night game. I'm surprised this is a 1 p.m. Slot on Sunday. These are two heavyweight teams, man. Miami coming off a big win, 70-20 against Broncos. Buffalo also coming off a big win, 37-3, I believe, against Washington. 37-3. Bills, they've been on a roll. That week 1 game against the Jets, I think you can throw that out the window. I don't think that's just that weird week 1 game, But the last 2 weeks, they've been rolling, man, offensively and defensively. So, two high-powered offenses. Mostly Miami. Miami's offense is pretty unpredictable. The defense has been a little lackluster, but they're starting to get things going on the defensive half somewhat. I feel like they'll just continue to improve as the season goes on, and I don't think that'll be too much of a worry. And if you look on the Buffalo side, that defense has been pretty solid. They've been stopping teams, so that's good on them. Even though they versus the Commanders last week, the second week they versus the Raiders, two I would say mid-bottom tier teams. Whereas Miami versus the Patriots, who's a mid-level team, the Chargers, and yeah. So they versus some high-powered offenses, but this game, I don't know. Buffalo likes to run a lot of man coverage and cover threes. Miami has been killing man coverage so far, besides Christian Gonzalez. But don't get me started with him. That guy's a beast. I wish he was in Miami. But with all that, I'm taking Miami here. Their offense is just too unpredictable, too explosive. I feel like the key to this game would be whose defense will step up. That'll be the key to this game because they're both offense are gonna get things rolling, man. Miami, they can run the ball. They got Devon Achan, Raheem Mostert, and they got weapons. Jalen Waddle, he's coming back this week he's coming off the concussion protocols. But another side, you got Josh Allen. He's a beast, but I'm still gonna stick with Miami. They're on a tear this year. I think they're the best team in the AFC. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with Miami, but this will be a close game. Buffalo will make it close. Buffalo does usually play well against Miami. So we'll see. I'm still going to ride with Miami. And I did see an interesting stat that Buffalo has won 7 straight against Miami in Buffalo, I believe the stat is. Because I know we beat them once. I think that was in Miami. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I did see a stat similar like that. But I think Miami breaks that. Moving on, we got Battle of the Trash. We got Broncos at Chicago. 2 disappointing teams. Broncos coming off a horrible loss, man. A historic loss. 20 points, but allow 70 points by the other team. And then you got the Chicago, who is kind of like, they don't know what's going on there. They lost to Kansas City 41 to however. They got blown out. But can you blame them? Taylor Swift was in the crowd. Travis Kelce was on a roll. He was definitely motivated that game. So was Patrick Mahomes. He had to help his boy out score a touchdown while T. Swift was there. So I say you can't blame the Bears there, man. They got freaking Taylor Swift at Arrowhead. Come on. How else do you think they're going to play? But even with that, 2 bottom tier teams right here looking for the first win of the season. Russell Wilson on one side, Justin Fields on the other side. Chicago, a lot of mess. It's a messy team right now. I see a lot of people blame the coaching, not calling up good plays, good schemes for Justin Fields. I'm seeing other people say it's all Justin Fields' fault. There's videos showing that he's missing wide open receivers and deciding to run and getting sacked for it, staying too long with the ball. So who knows what's going on with Chicago, man. I'm gonna take Denver here. They were able to put up points against Miami. They were able to put up 20 points. So give me the Broncos to beat Chicago. Andrew, you want to see something? We're talking about the Broncos Bears game.
Right here. Right here. Right here.
You think they'll be able to beat the Bears?
Yes.
Led by Justin Fields?
It's the Caleb Williams Bowl.
The Caleb Williams Bowl. That's what I like to hear. So there you go. Yeah, Chicago really has to figure something out. But so does Denver. So we'll see. Moving on, we got another good game. We got Baltimore at Cleveland. That's going to be a great game. Any AFC North division game is going to be good. All 4 teams are pretty good teams, I say. But Baltimore is pretty beaten up right now. They took a lot of damage in the last few games. They lost to the Colts in overtime last week. So they're going to come in here pretty pissed off. But no matter, I'm taking Cleveland. Jim Schwartz fixed up that defense. That defense is looking killer. Myles Garrett's having a heck of a year. The defense is stepping up, making plays, getting stops. It's crazy what Cleveland is doing right now. They have arguably the best defense statistically this year. I still think the 49ers defense is probably better. But they're having a heck of a year too, Cleveland. Uh, Deshaun Watson, he's making plays on the feet, in the air. He's inconsistent, but he's getting there. I feel like he's just warming up. Amari Cooper is going off. Weapons wise, Elijah Moore, he's stepping up. Jerome Ford stepping up. Kareem Hunt's gonna be involved soon. So I feel like Cleveland's only gonna get better from here. So with all that, I'm gonna take Cleveland, even though Baltimore can be dangerous. They will be pissed off. So I feel like it's a 50-50 match, but I'm leaning towards Cleveland here. All right, moving on. We got Bengals at Titans. Ooh. Last week, the Bengals kind of figured it out. Got back on their groove. Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty. He's starting to figure things out. And by that, he's still injured. He played a little bit like he was injured last week, but he has a whole another week to recover. So I do expect him to play better, even though he is limited right now. But I don't think he has to be 100% to be the Titans team. The offense have shown me they're not it. You know, the defense still a heck of a defense. Maybe not so much in the secondary, but they would have to be to beat the Bengals. You know, Jamar Chase, he went off last game. He stepped up big time. Joe Mixon, he might get limited with that rush defense from the Titans, but don't matter. I'm actually going to pick Bengals. Now, at this time of year, you're going to see teams starting to like roll now and start to become who they're supposed to be. Unlike week one, week one, we don't know what any team is. A lot of weird games, but as the season continues, they start to show the colors, and I see the Bengals. Though I think they'll get back right on track after this game. So give me the Bengals here to win on the road against the Titans. Even though the Titans they probably do play well at home, but we'll see. Give me the Bengals here. Moving on, we got LA Rams at Colts. It looks like AR-15 will play this game. He's out of concussion protocol. He did practice today. I'm recording this on Wednesday, by the way. But yeah, AR-15 is getting healthy. That team is looking legit. But I think I'm going to trust more on Matthew Stafford. He's been playing pretty well this season, somewhat. Last game, he turned the ball over a few times. But that was against a tough Bengals defense. Puka, he's been showing out. I feel like he'll be able to get open. He'll be a big-time player of this game. Kyron Williams, he's been pretty solid. The O-line has been stepping up for the Rams, which is huge. On the other side of the football, you got the Colts. Defensive line is pretty solid. Pass rush is pretty spotty. But DeForest Buckner, he's a beast. Secondary, I'm still not sure about. But offensive side, Michael Pittman, he's a beast. Zach Moss is stepping up. And then AR-15, I loving that kid. He's a big playmaker. He can get it in the air and on the ground. But I'm still going to lean with the Rams here. I feel like Matthew Stafford is going to get a good read on that defense and be able to make plays and outscore this Colts team. So give me the Rams here to win. Moving on, we got Tampa and New Orleans. Derek Carr is out of this game. It will be Jameis Winston at quarterback for the Saints. Saints defense has been amazing. Probably top 3 so far this year. Making big stops. Tampa has been having a good season. Baker's been stepping up. Unfortunately, they took a big loss against the Eagles. But, again, the Eagles, that run game is looking unstoppable. So, not a bad loss to have. But they've been stepping up in the first 2 games they had. Mike Evans has been a big player for them. But usually does not play well against Marshawn Lattimore, who is playing really good this year. I'm actually going to go with New Orleans. They're at home, a division game. This will be tough. I think they'll show out. Jameis Winston revenge game. I don't even know if it's a revenge game. They played them a few times now, but they still got Chris Olave, Michael Thomas. They got playmakers on offense. I feel like this Saints defense will overwhelm Baker. So with that, I got the Saints. Moving on, we got Washington at Philly. Now, if you guys remember last year, Washington was the team that gave the Eagles their first L last year. But I don't think that's the case this year. This Philly team is pretty incredible. The rush game it looks unstoppable, especially when it comes to that quarterback sneak. Jalen Hurts is going to run through anyone. That defensive line for Philly is one of the best. Jalen Carter's been showing out, man. He's a dog, man. He's a dog. Of course, he's a dog. He came from the school filled with dogs. Uh, so yeah, that Eagles defense is tough. They're filled with Georgia Bulldogs. Who else they have? They have Carter. They have Jordan Davis. He's a beast. They get Keely Ringo, all from Georgia. Of course, I'm still not sure of the secondary. They've been allowing a lot of passing plays, a lot of passing guards. But even with that, I don't think you have to worry about too much about Sam Howell, who's still in their second year. They do got playmakers in the passing game. Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, of course. Brian Robinson's been stepping up, but I don't think he's going to have a good game against this Philly team. This defensive line is incredible in the run defense. So, with all that, give me Philly. I feel like Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown's going to have another big game. So, give me Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Next, we got Vikings at Panthers. Give me the Vikings here. They're still looking for the first win. So is the Panthers. But I'm more trusty of Kirk Cousins, man. He's been balling out so far. So has Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Madison's getting in this groove. They just traded for Cam Akers. This offense can be pretty dangerous. So I think they'll be able to score easily on the Panthers. I think they win by probably 17 or more points. I feel like it's going to be a blowout. I'm not too confident in the Panthers. Bryce Young is still kind of struggling to get the hang of things. AJ Thing is their number one receiver. They will be able to put points on this Vikings defense. The main focus for the Vikings defense is pressure. That's what Brian Flores loves to do. He likes to send in the blitz. So once he's sending the blitz, I feel like Bryce Young, he might get overwhelmed. So with that, I'm going to trust the Vikings. I'm going to trust that defense to make some big stops against the Panthers. And I'm trusting Minnesota to get their first dub here. So give me Minnesota here. Moving on, we got Pittsburgh at Houston. Ooh, Houston showed out against the Jags. They won, what was it, 37-17. They won by 20 points. Who saw that coming? Not anyone, I believe. But this Houston team, they look legit, man. C.J. Stroud, he's looking like the best rookie quarterback so far. The offensive line stepping up. He's making a bunch of big plays. He's top 5 in passing yards right now. So, and of course, the coach is a defensive coach, so the defense is stepping up as well. Pittsburgh, that defense in front of 7 is killer, led by T.J. Watt. He's a beast, having a heck of a season. I feel like he's going to get through, be able to get to C.J. Stroud. They'll be able to stop the run game from Texans. And with all that, I like Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. The key matchup here is going to be that how Kenny Pickett goes up against this Houston defense. But I feel like he'll be able to fare pretty well as he's been heating up the last few games. He hasn't been playing the greatest, but he's been playing better and better each game so far, it seems like. So, give me Kenny Pickett and TJ Watt to get to CJ Stroud. So, give me Pittsburgh here to beat the Texans. Moving on, you got the Raiders at the Chargers. Mike Williams tore his ACL. He's out for the season. Give me the Chargers here. I'm still not high on the Raiders team. Chargers got playmakers. You got Justin Herbert. He's been killing it so far. Unfortunately, they're stuck with Brandon Staley, who is not the greatest coach, and he's been showing that week after week recently. Almost blew against the Vikings last week. But doesn't matter. I feel like Justin Herbert is talented enough to carry the team, put the team on his back. Keenan Allen's been a heck of a receiver. Number 1 wide receiver in fantasy as well, and that's for a reason. He's been balling. I feel like this defense should step up. I don't know if J.C. Jackson's going to play. Apparently has a warrant out for him. So we'll see. They still have Asante Samuel. They have big names on that defense. Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack as well. They have Eric Kendricks as well. This Vegas team, I'm not high on them. Their only win comes from the Broncos, who's been struggling. They've been shooting themselves in the foot so far. Jimmy Garoppolo, is he in concussion protocol? Last I heard, I think he was. But I think he would play this game. Devontae Adams, he's starting to get frustrated. Josh Jacobs hasn't been able to get anything going so far for them. That defense, I'm still not high on the defense. So with all that, I feel like Justin Fields is going to have himself a field day here. So So give me Justin Field, or not Justin Field, Justin Herbert. Give me Justin Herbert and the Chargers here. Moving on, next game we got Patriots at Dallas. Dallas dropped a stinker, man, against the Cardinals. The Cardinals showed out and beat the Cowboys, who was one of my Super Bowl team predictions. So that kind of stinks. Dallas, man, Dak Prescott, he has to play better. The defense is adjusting with life after Trevon Diggs, who was a big loss for them. So we'll see how they are able to rebound. I'm sure they'll come in here pissed off, ready to get after Mac Jones and the Patriots. So give me Cowboys here. The Patriots, they're a pretty good team. They're a sneaky team. Mac Jones has been able to move the ball well. But I'm just going to trust in Cowboys to bounce back and beat the Patriots here. It'll be a bounce back game. Moving on, we got Cardinals at San Fran. Arizona's been surpassing expectations by a lot so far this season. Keeping in a lot of close games. Joshua Dobbs has been showing out. It only makes you think what they'll look like as soon as Kyler Murray comes back. So we'll see. But they're up against a tough San Fran team. So give me San Fran. I feel like this will be an easy win for them. The Cardinals, they did beat the Cowboys last week. They kept it close with the Giants. And they also kept it close against one of the teams in week 1. I forgot who it was. But San Fran has been on a tear so far. After seeing what the Cardinals did to Dallas last week, I don't think they'll be taking them lightly. So, give me San Fran to beat Arizona roughly about 2 touchdowns or 3 or more scores. Next game, we got Kansas City Chiefs and New York Jets. The Jets are looking like a mess. Kansas City, it's been looking like they're never been stronger, or they're stronger now with the power of Taylor Swift. Now, you cannot underestimate the power of the Swifties. The Swifties are going to possess this team, make them play 3 times better. They almost have a guaranteed spot to the Super Bowl. The Swiftie army is strong. They will not allow this team to lose to a Jets team led by Zach Wilson. This guy's the MILF god, Zach Wilson. Jets are over him. Even the team is over him. So, give me the Chiefs here. They got Patrick Mahomes. They got the Swifties. They got Kelsey. They got the leader of the Swifties, Taylor Swift, by their side. Oh my gosh. They're going to make this team go Super Saiyan. So, with all that, give me the Chiefs to beat the Jets by 10 or more. Give me that. I feel like this defense is going to struggle. They're going to struggle with the chemistry as they're all fighting with each other. It looks like they're matching up against themselves. So, it doesn't matter. Give me the Chiefs. Moving on. Seattle at New York. It's a good game, low key. We'll see if Saquon's back. We don't know yet. I don't think he's going to play this game. But even if he does, I like Seattle here. Giants have been disappointing. Seattle's been bouncing back ever since they took that week 1 loss against the Rams. They've been looking good. Kenneth Walker has been balling out so far. Geno Smith has been effective, playing game manager most of the time. But that's all they need. Just don't turn the ball over and you're straight, you know. New York, it can't be the same. You can't said the same there, man. They're struggling defensively and offensively. Darren Waller, he looks a little bit washed. Daniel Jones doesn't look like he's worth the $40 million. They're a bit banged up, especially. The defense is still young, especially in the secondary. Those guys are still trying to figure it out. And they're going to have a tough matchup here against DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jibba. So, with all that, and Seattle's defense is starting to figure things out and get more healthy. So, with all that, give me Seattle. So, those are my picks for Week 4. And yeah, let me know down below which ones you agree, where you disagree. Give me your takes, your picks, and all that down below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate the love and support. Thank you guys for watching the video, and peace. We're going to catch you guys next week. Next week, NFL Pick'ems, we're going to have Dan, and yeah, big Swiftie right there.